When naming your band, there are no hard and fast rules, so there isn't really a video that we could make that would give you the perfect name for your band or explain how to do this in, like, ultimate terms. But we can give you some tips, and that's what we're going to do today. So some examples of where to find a band name for you is things like films, TV shows, quotes, other bands' lyrics, just make up some weird shit. Just a group of words that have a nice ring to them from any kind of media whatsoever. Don't be too critical on yourself when coming up with a band name, because while your band name might just be like a few words mashed together that sound kind of cool, if it doesn't mean that much or it just kind of sounds a bit dodgy, then don't be too bothered about it, because when a band actually starts to get recognised, like Arctic Monkeys, people start to disassociate their band name with what it actually means. Like when you hear the word Arctic Monkeys, you don't assume, oh, fucking chimps that live in the Arctic. You don't think about that. You associate Arctic Monkeys with the band. So in reality, your band name doesn't actually have to mean anything. When you're thinking of a band name, look at other bands in the style that you're planning to be in. Chances are that they might have a word or a phrase in one of their songs that reflects the sound that you're trying to portray with your music, so maybe that might fit as a band name. I remember when me and Lenny were in a pop-punk band about 7 years ago now, and one band we liked had a name that was from the lyrics of another band we liked song, and that band's name was from the lyrics of another band. So it's okay to literally just take inspiration from wherever.
Don't think too hard into it. It really doesn't matter.
Provided it sounds good in some way or is somewhat recognisable, and it really doesn't matter. Like, what are some bands that we know now that have quite weird names?
Calva Louise.
Yeah, I was just thinking that one. There's a band that we know called Calva Louise, which doesn't really mean anything. Maybe it means something to the band, but to, like, an offhand spectator, it just doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, it don't matter. Like, provided that it's a kind of reminder of who you are, and the more unique it is, the better that works. It's fine.
Thing is, you're not going to be judged on your name. When you think about it, The Beatles is a shit band name. Why would you want to name yourself after a fucking insect?
And it's spelt wrong.
And it's spelt wrong. But yet they became the biggest band in the world. So don't think about it too much. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some tips about things to check before you finalise your band name. Tip number 1. Check to see if there are any other bands in the world that have the same name as you. If so, please reconsider, because this can be a massive hassle, both in searching terms, like recognising which band is which terms, and when you actually come to release stuff to Spotify and iTunes or whatever. Your music can be put under other artist accounts, which is a bit shit.
Fucking pain in the arse.
It's a massive pain in the arse, because we have to deal with this on almost a daily basis, and it sucks. So, solve this problem at the source, please, and be original.
I would just like to point out that we complain, but my band Dogmatic had this exact problem because there's a rapper in Detroit.
So did mine, actually. There is like a weird folk band from Romania or something called Salamander. So
we're shit. Don't follow in our footsteps.
Do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah.
Tip number 2. How searchable is your band name? There is a band that we know called Life. And I don't know if you know this or not, but the word life is used somewhat frequently on the internet. So when you type in the word life on the internet,
the band doesn't come up.
The band doesn't come up. Other things regarding life come up, because life is quite a general term. The best way of combating this is having 2 or more words that just would not go together in normal conversation or speech. Like Calva Louise. What the fuck does that mean? But it's pretty searchable. When you're searching Calva Louise online, they are pretty much the first thing that comes up, because the words Calva Louise are just not used anywhere else. Tip number 3, make sure it is easily pronounced. A lot of metal bands, I find, guilty of this. They get words that are from like ancient Greek mythology and things, thinking it's really cool, and then find out that a lot of people have a lot of trouble pronouncing it and spelling it. When you're on the phone to someone and you're telling them what your band's called, please try and avoid the situation where the person that you're telling goes, okay, how do you spell that again? And if you have to then spell it out for them and there's a shitload of letters in it and it's a really horrible word to pronounce, it's not good.
Now imagine that exact same situation, but on stage.
Hi, we are... It's like that Welsh town that was on that meme a while back, where the weatherman tries to read out the really long named Welsh town. Imagine if that was your band name. You might have a band name where it's really easy to say. You can shout it out on stage and people will shout it back to you, no problem. But they might not be able to spell it. A lot of bands pick a word that is a normal word, and then they'll just spell it fucking weird. Like, they'll just add silent letters in, or replace the vowels with other things, or add umlauts in places that really don't need umlauts. And
Get rid of vowels is the recent thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
spell a word but get rid of all the vowels.
Yeah, there's a band called Waster that is just WSTR, and that causes a few problems because people don't know whether they are called Waster, or Worcester, or Worcester, or it just...
You add in your own vowels based on your own experiences. Swimmers do the same.
So you want a band name that it is absolutely undoubtable how you spell and pronounce the word. A lot of recent acts have taken to using special characters and numbers in their band name, and while this can be really good for searching your band name because there's no one else called David624 ## on Spotify, it's kind of hard to say. Like, I know there's some of these like weird SoundCloud rappers that come out nowadays who put loads of like letters and numbers after the name, and it's kind of hard to say. It's like if I was recommending a SoundCloud rapper who has a really dodgy name to learn, like, oh, have you seen this guy? It's called 79 ##, and it's not great. If there is a band name that you really love but it's already taken, you can kind of take that band name and add punctuation or spacing or mess up the lettering a little bit. While this doesn't change the searchability, so say if your band is called Crisp Packet and there's 7 other bands called Crisp Packet, but you've merged the words and you put a question mark at the end, it's still not going to be very easy to search, but it does help with things like Spotify because your accounts aren't going to get merged. We wouldn't recommend doing this because it doesn't really solve all the problems, but it's just something to consider. Also, does it look good compositionally as words? Do the words look like a band name together? Is your band name really easy to format into a logo? If you put it in a cool font and display it in a cool way as your logo, is it going to look good? One of the reasons why the name Arctic Monkeys works so well is because it's 2 words that don't go together in any other context, and they're both of a similar length, and they both have 2 syllables. Arctic Monkeys. It's very easy to say. And then when you present it as a logo, Arctic Monkeys, it just works because it looks good. I suppose that's a bit of an artistic decision for you to decide how your band name looks. If you've picked 2 words that are 7 syllables and then 1 syllable, it might look good in your opinion, it might look shit in my opinion. Do what you think is best for your band. Even if a name is a really, really, really good name, it might not be the best name for your genre. You will find that certain genres use names and formulate them in certain ways. Like a lot of indie bands will be the something.
The very first video we ever made, you specifically said, if you're a metal band, don't call yourself the whatever, because...
We did. I remember that very well, yeah. So you have to make sure that your name reflects your music. Don't call yourself Baby Killer Feces Eaters if you're a nice folk band. Don't call yourself Happy Elf and the Cloud People if you are a death metal band who likes eating feces and killing babies. I was trying to outdo myself in the previous video because I know I just said something really shit.
You said Death Eaters in the
first one. Which is just
one.
shit because that's just something from Harry Potter.
And you said the sheep, I think, for the indie band.
See, my vocabulary is...
That's it!
Okay, that's it for today. I hope you found this video somewhat insightful. If you want to see...
This series is that side.
If you want to see the best videos from this series, then click over there. And if you want to see our best of playlist, click over there.
It's worth saying that the first one that he said is not the best videos from this series. It's all the videos from this series. Joe's just shit.
I've had a fucking shit week, and I'm going to go see the Arctic Monkeys tonight, so...
That's why I've been mentioning them.
That's why I've been mentioning them, because they are on my mind.
Okay, bye.